Good evening. Welcome back, amen, to the show Vision of Hope. I am your host, amen, today, amen, absent of the producer and which is Deborah Ringo. I am your host today, Russell Ringo, and we just come to you, amen, welcome you, amen, tell somebody, amen, that the Vision of Hope is one again on air, amen, at the great station, amen, Win TV. Amen. We just going to, amen, talk a little about this, maybe a couple of subjects and topics, amen, that hope that would help you. And I know will help you in this upcoming season, amen. We are in the season, Christmas or giving, um, amen, even though we know that, amen, things is different from last year. Amen. The pandemic has impacted, amen, a lot of people. Amen. We can see, amen, that the uh, things are going up, prices of food and uh, et cetera, gasoline, everything is, amen, seem like to be going up, but yet your money is still the same. But we know even through this, amen, that you have to begin to, amen, believe and know, amen, that God will provide in the midst of whatever your situation may be. We know, amen, a lot of people have been touched, amen, by a form of tragedy, whether it's death, maybe loss of a job, or whatever the case may be. But, amen, times such as this, sometimes we feel, amen, hopeless. I mean, we feel that we don't have any type of sense of direction and we don't know which way really to go. And that's uh, sometimes it's normal, amen, just living an everyday life and just being human. Sometimes you find yourself where you don't know, amen, which way you're gonna go, and especially, man, sometimes that you can imagine, amen, working a job, and even though that you feel like, amen, your pay is not increased over the period of time, and you were just barely making it when you was employed, but seemed like that because of the life circumstances, amen, seem like that now, what I'm gonna do when I don't have any income coming in the house, and you have obligations, you have, amen, kids or people that depending on you to uh, make provision. Then sometimes what do you do? Amen. That's why, amen, I believe that the show, amen, is called the vision of hope for a reason. And sometimes you have to realize that in the midst of certain things that sometimes you don't really can see a vision, and sometimes you don't even have hope, and sometimes that you got to gird up and look beyond and begin to look down, amen, the very person that you are, and know that I'm gonna make it in spite of, and knowing that if I made it, amen, through worse situations in the past, that knowing that I'll be able to make it through what I'm feeling and what I'm going through, even right now. We can look on the news and we can see the devastation of tornadoes and different things that have impacted, amen, certain states. And we can look around on the news and we know, amen, by uh, the television and by different reports, amen, that new variant, amen, is on the rise. And we can look at that. It seemed like that we came out of a pandemic and we came out of situations and we felt like that we can breathe a little bit and we can, amen, travel just a little bit, but seem like that the very thing we came out of, like we're going back through and gonna repeat the same thing over again. But even if that be the case, and but knowing, amen, that your vision should not die, and amen, your hope, amen, should be in the very thing that you believe in. And one thing that we talk about and know, amen, the basic of this uh, broadcasting platform is knowing that we got hope in Jesus. And sometimes that you might not be a spiritual person that's running around, jumping around, but knowing that your faith and knowing the very faith and the very thing you believe in, amen, will carry you through. Amen. Because the Bible declared that without faith, it's impossible to please God. But how can you begin to get to a place I can believe it when I can't even see it in the natural? Amen. But sometimes you have to begin to look beyond what you can see and just step out, amen, on things that you cannot see, and knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel. And one thing that I was looking at it, I was just looking out, amen, my windows of the day, and I begin to see, amen, the animals, the squirrels, and the birds, and things of nature that birds in the yard, they was feeding and looking at the squirrel was up and down the tree doing what have you. And it began to came dawn on me and begin to, uh, I realized that even the smallest things that begin to let me know that the God that I serve is able. And I begin to look at it and understand. I said, you know what? I'm better than a squirrel. I'm better than a bird. And if the birds, amen, have provision uh, every day to eat, and the squirrel have provision to be a squirrel and begin to make provision to make a nest and uh, always find food sources out there in the yard, then God is look at me. I know that I'm bigger than a squirrel. Amen. Not saying that things are not happen, but uh, if I know God can take care of squirrel and birds, He can take care of me. And I haven't seen any squirrel uh, on any job that I have worked. I have not seen any birds, amen, at the lunch table or in the lunch lines. But yet and still, the birds eat every day. Amen. Squirrels, they play and they begin to play around with each other, but you always find the squirrels, amen, in the same, going through the same thing every day. Amen. Because why? Uh, I believe that the squirrel is always uh, moving in the same direction back and forth because the squirrel realized that there's a source of life, there's source, there's something of food, there's something to keep that squirrel and his family sustained. And that's why you see him going back and forth, aim on the same route. And we know we have a sense of survival. And maybe you just looking and listening to me now, amen, forgot about, amen, how your survival skills might have been lying dormant. Amen. And sometimes you look around and you begin to judge, amen, what you see according to what's your surroundings. And a lot of times that everybody, might be going through something different. Amen. But I'm talking to somebody, amen, today and listening at this, amen, broadcast and let them know and let you know, amen, that you're going to make it. Amen. You will make it. Amen. You got to begin to look at this. Look out your window. Just begin to look at the small things. And maybe you might have some animals that hang around your house and, amen, constantly, amen, be in your yard. And, amen, they in there for a reason because theirs not in your neighbor's yard, but it's something on your property. It's something that you might not be aware of that they have found out, amen, there's hope in the situation in your yard. And coming up, amen, from down south and coming up, amen, and state of Alabama. And amen, we played in the yard. We began to, amen, feed off the land. And we ate, amen, from the land that our parents began to sow seeds and they grew, amen, different vegetables and some, amen, might have uh, grow and have livestock that we can eat. Amen. But sometime, amen, that you look around and once all that has dissipated, amen, but you still believe that you're going to eat. You still knew everything was going to be all right. Amen. You begin to try to find out, well, why in the world all these animals is coming, amen, just out of nowhere. But you understand that they had to realize, amen, there was something good on the land. And whatever you listen looking at and whatever you might be doing and going through in your house, in your homes right now, it might be, amen, in a relationship that might be toxic, amen, might be because of life circumstances, and amen, you might find yourself, amen, agitated. You might find yourself on the edge, amen, and that's normally because when you don't know how you're going to make provision, amen, then you begin to act out. You begin to don't know what you want gonna do, amen. Sometimes you might say something uh, out the norm, out the box that you normally would not say. But I came to let you know, just be still, amen. Just begin to understand that trouble don't last always, Hey, no matter we can look at the news and look at how different storm system might have impacted certain states, but we understand that the storm did not last all night. Even though it might have been devastated, you might be going through a storm in your life right now and feel like that it's going to last all of your life, but the storm only gonna last, amen, for a while. You got to realize, amen, if I can endure, amen, the small thing, if I can just endure the storm I'm feeling right now, it ain't gonna last always. That sooner or later, I will be able to step out into the sunshine and will be able to step out and look back other things that I've been through. And I can tell myself and encourage myself that everything gonna be okay, that I'm gonna make it in spite of. Amen. I'm gonna be all right. Amen. Sometimes, amen, you sit back and amen, you wondering, and sometimes that in such a time and holidays, such as we're approaching, and sometimes you gonna feel like what I coulda, shoulda have done. But even if you have made mistakes, even though if you might have fell down and fallen to a point in your life, and amen, maybe your spirit man, and maybe your inner worth, amen, you feel like, and the enemy will try to come and tell you, amen, first of all, amen, that you are not going to make it, that you're not going to be anything. But I come to let you know that you are somebody. Amen. Everything God made was good. And don't let nobody try to put in your mind or put in your spirit that you're not a good thing. You're the best thing because God made you. And even though you might not be in a point in your life that where you like to be, but you got to begin to work on yourself, begin to work on the very thing that you want to sharpen up. Amen. You might be want to, amen, go back and pursue education and knowing that you can do it. Amen. You might be able to want to step out, amen, in your own business, step out, amen, entrepreneurship, and let you know you can do that. And sometimes you have to be able to keep your ideals that God had put in your spirit, keep it to yourself. Amen. When you are ready and able to step out, amen, then you tell somebody about what you're planning to do. Sometimes we can speak about something prematurely. Somebody would take the very idea that you have and run with it. Amen. But just understand and know that you're going to be able to make it, and you're going to make it. Even though, amen, you might not have the biggest spread this year coming up Christmas. Maybe your kids might not get everything that they got last year, but if you got life and you got health and you got strength, amen, you got more than most people can boast. Amen. A lot of people might be in a financial situation that they can't afford the finer things of life. But even though they can afford the materialistic things, they can be miserable. Thoughts of suicide. They can be very unhappy on the inside because when you realize and come to a point in your life, and I'm talking to somebody today that materialistic things does not justify, it does not clarify who you are, because you can have the finest things, but yet on the inside there's something is still missing, and you can be almost to the level of poverty, what society say, but you have something on the inside that even if you have and don't have or have not, you got an inner peace that everything gonna be okay. You have a peace in yourself knowing that I'm not gonna stay in the same situation forever. Amen. That let me know even when you begin to go to school and you went to pre-K and kindergarten and so forth, that you did not stay in the same grade all your life. Amen, you begin to mature, you begin to graduate, amen, from one grade to another. Once you begin to master the very academics of that particular subject, you begin to move to the next level. And that's the same thing in life that we have to realize that I can't stay in the same grade all of my life. I have to be able to grow up, I have to be able to advance myself. That might be to a point that maybe my way of thinking need to change. Maybe my conversation maybe need to change. maybe my friends that I associate myself with, maybe I had to get rid of some of those friends that negativities and tearing me down and don't want me to go and move forward in the very things that I have on the inside. Sometimes we have a lot of people, hey, that have been scarred, that's been wounded, yet and too afraid to step out. We got even a lot of people in relationship that is afraid uh, to love and to let themselves go because they've been wounded, they've been hurt. Therefore, so they figure if I got hurt one time, I get hurt again. If I love one time and it hurt, then I would not allow myself to get back into the same situation. But you got to understand that everybody's different. There's no do, there's no two person that's alike. Amen. Though he hurt me or though she hurt me, whatever case may be. So you got to trust somebody. But we're just here to encourage you. This is a vision of hope. And when you have a vision, you can see something. And when you see something, you go towards it. And when you got hope, no matter you might cry, you might laugh, or whatever it can be, when you got hope, that lets you know you're still living. That lets you know that I can do it. That lets you know that there's nothing going to deter me from moving towards the vision that I have. So, on behalf, amen, a producer, uh, Deborah Ringo, I am your host today, and it's a pleasure to come, amen, to say something to the listening audience. And we just thank Win TV for the space and the opportunity. Amen. So just tune in, amen, to next time. And we love you. We want you to be safe and be kind and just whatever you do, amen, be careful, amen. Make sure you masked up and whatever uh, they telling you to do, amen, to keep yourself protected, then we advise you and we just ask you, amen, just out of love to be careful, be kind, amen. If you can't say anything good to somebody, amen, just keep your mouth closed and walk on by. And amen, we love you. We will see you soon. Once again, I'm your host for today, Prophet Russell Ringo. Amen. If you would like, amen, to have, amen, a copy of any of the tapes or anything, you can contact, amen, Win TV. Amen. They can forward, amen, any correspondence, amen, to us that you would like to share. You like it, don't like it, uh, whatever subject, amen, that you might want to present, amen, us to discuss, amen, then you're welcome, amen, to do so. Just make all your correspondence, amen, to this great station at Win TV. Until we meet again, may God bless you. May God keep you. I want to say Merry Christmas and a prosperous Christmas to you and you. Amen.